Yo. What is going on, people? Welcome back to another deadline stream. It is time, man. It is time to get our FPL thinking cap back on, man. International break is done and we're here, man. We're here for the madness. Big up everyone in the chat. Hope everyone's doing well, man. And yeah, man, hopefully this week is a good week. I'm on free hit. I've changed my team quite a bit. To be fair, I've changed my team quite a bit for when you compare it to my first draft I did. But I'm pretty happy with it, to be fair. I think I've got to the stage now where I'm pretty happy with it. So, yeah, I probably won't change it during this deadline stream. But you never know. You just never know. But yeah, man, big up everyone in the chat. Big up CJ, big up E-Man, big up Music Kiwi. Big up J Does Cars. Big up Leander. Ugonna. Zach. Big up, man. Hope everyone in the chat is doing well. Do I really trust Barnes to start? So, all right, with Barnes, I did see the news last night that he had a kid. His wife had a baby. His wife gave birth. So, the thing is, because it's at home, I do expect him still to start, and because obviously the situation with injuries and Gordon being suspended, I still think Harvey Barnes is good enough for a start. I think I still want to take the gamble. I still think I want to take the gamble on Harvey Barnes, to be honest with you, chat. Like, I was thinking, should I just take him out? Is it a bit too risky? But I was looking at everyone sort of that I could move to instead of going for Harvey Barnes. I could go Elanga, and that's probably the smarter, safe thing to do. But I just think if Barnes starts, I'd much rather have Barnes over Elanga. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think I'm going to take out Barnes. I still think he'll play, man. I really do still think he'll play. Like, Newcastle need to get a win. I'm pretty sure Newcastle haven't got a win in the Premier League yet, have they? No, they've drawn 2 games and they've lost 1. Yeah, they've drawn 2 and lost 1. So, yeah, man, I expect Eddie Howe to go sort of all out to try and get this win. I don't think Harvey Barnes... I mean, we've seen it before, right, with players, with their, their partners giving birth and they still play the next game. So, yeah, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Surely I put King first sub in case Barnes doesn't play. I was thinking that, but I feel like Anderson's very, very good for defensive contributions. And I think Fulham get a clean sheet. I think there's a decent chance, anyway, Fulham get a clean sheet. Which is why I put Anderson first. Again, I could change it and just back the attacker over the defender. I will probably end up changing it, to be fair. But yeah, right now I've got Anderson in that position. But yeah, what's everyone's plans this week though? Like, are you guys wildcarding? Are you guys free hitting? Or are you guys just literally rolling the transfer or not using any chips but using a transfer? What are you guys what's your plans this week? I have Gahey in my team. Why is everyone picking Munoz or Richards? Munoz has the attacking threat, man. Munoz has the attacking threat. I think in a game like this against Sunderland at home, there's clean sheet potential, but there's also, potential for a goal or maybe an assist. So, yeah, for me, because I'm free hitting this week, I think, yeah, Munoz is pretty much like a must-have for me. Pretty much. Wildcard, I'm free hitting. Thoughts on going 4 at the back on free hit? I personally think 3 at the back is the way, man, on free hit. But it all depends, man. It all depends. I think Pope, Kukurea, Van Dijk, Gabriel, Munoz, they're all good picks at the end of the day. They are all good picks. But me personally, I like to play the upside with the attackers on a free hit. And that's why I'm on a 3-4-3 at the moment. Yeah, man. I just think on a free hit, I'd much rather just back the attacking upside. No chips here, thinking of wildcard soon. Yeah, I think I'm most likely going to wildcard in game week 8, I think it is. Yeah, game week 8 right now is looking like the most likely time I do hit the wildcard button. 2 free transfer, Strand Larson to João Pedro and Sarr to Josh King. Fair enough. So you've bought in João Pedro. Fair enough, man. I actually had João Pedro in this free hit. I had him in this free hit, but I've actually taken him out now. I've gone for Gyökeres, Glock 9. As the Arsenal fans like to call him. I've actually gone for Gyökeres instead. I think Brentford are a poor team, and I think Brentford are a poor team, and Chelsea, of course, are much better. But I just think with the international break, with Brazil playing late, and then João Pedro having to fly, not training as well. I'm pretty sure. I don't think João Pedro trained with Chelsea in their last game. He'll probably start, but I think he'll get managed minutes, so probably a 60-minute substitution. So I just think on a free hit, I might as well pick the attacker that's on penalties, guaranteed 90 minutes, and playing in a Arsenal team at home. So yeah, man, it was a tough one between João Pedro and Gyökeres, but I think I'm going to back Gyökeres on this free hit. What watch-longs am I doing this weekend? Right, yes, with watch-longs. So, assuming my team stays the way it is, the reason why I didn't post anything is because I've been changing my team so much, and I think the watch-longs I do is always dependent on what my team is looking like, right? So, that's why I didn't post anything on my community tab section, but I think this will be my team. So, the plan is to do an Arsenal watch-along today, to do a 3 p.m. watch-along as well, so the 3 p.m. games. I got quite a few players playing in the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and then yeah, that'll be it for today. So the Arsenal game, the 3 o'clock games, and then tomorrow I'll be doing Liverpool versus Burnley. So I think they're the watch-alongs I've got planned. I think if I picked João Pedro, I probably would have done Chelsea, Brentford, but I've got just Sanchez in goal, so I don't really see the point in doing a Chelsea versus Brentford watch-along. I mean, if I'm bored and I've got nothing to do, I might do one. But as it stands, I'm always going to prioritise, players that I've got playing. So yeah, Arsenal versus Forest, 3 p.m. games. There's actually a lot of games on the 3 o'clock kickoffs, which is nice. And then Liverpool versus Burnley. So that's what I've got planned so far this week. Big up Soros XD with an £8 super chat. You know what? Fair enough. I actually said to him that he didn't have to donate, but you know what? We made a bet. He stuck to his bet. So you know what? Fair play, man. I respect it, bro. I respect it. Big up Tosin as well for getting the 8 points in game week 3 against Fulham. And big up Soros as well for sticking to his for sticking to his bet. Yeah, big up Soros, man. He donates £8 and says leaked Barnes doesn't start. Here is £8 for 8 Tosin points. Hey, big up Soros, man. Big up Soros. I hope you're doing well, bro. Yeah, that is funny. But listen, Barnes. Listen, guys. I know that Barnes, his partner gave birth, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Barnes to not start this game. That's truthfully what I think. I just love this fixture for Newcastle at home against Wolves, and I just don't want to remove him. I mean, if I were to take out Barnes, right, how much would I have left? I've got 6.8 million left. Let's just say Anderson goes down to Ronaldo. That's 7.3. I've already got Semenyo, so at 7.3 million, who are my options? Elanga. That's like, I feel like Elanga's really the only one that I would like to go for. Other than Elanga, I could go for Grealish. I could go, well, not Ndai. Ndai could is a doubt. So I could go for Grealish. I could go for Elanga. I could go for Brennan Johnson. I could go for Xavi Simons. There's a few players there, but I don't really like those options compared to Harvey Barnes, if I'm totally honest, guys. I'll be real, man. I know Harvey Barnes, his partner gave birth and all that, but I still think he'll start, honestly. It's a home game as well. I still think he'll start. So I want to take the gamble on Barnes, man. Because I think if he starts, Barnes is like an explosive player, man. He's got goals in him. He does have goals in him. So, yeah. Kudus against his former club. I actually had Kudus in my non-free hit team. I decided to free hit him out. On a free hit, no, I don't really like Kudus on a free hit, if I'm being totally honest. I think the fixture is good, don't get me wrong. But yeah, man, on a free hit, I think I prefer other options, to be fair. I do prefer other options. So, yeah. Right, let me just quickly run this poll. Make sure you guys do smash a like on the stream, by the way, if you haven't already, chat. Big up everyone inside. Yeah, subscribe, all that good stuff if you haven't already. Big up Nixie in the chat as well, bro. Hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're doing good. Which players are must-have on a free hit? A must-have players on a free hit. I mean, listen, everyone is free to play the way they want to, right? The only player I get... I don't think there's a must-have player. It's all about combinations, right? But for me personally, I think, look, if you're on free hit, you got to have Salah. You got to have triple Liverpool. What triple Liverpool you go for, it's totally up to you. I've personally decided to go triple Liverpool attack, but you might go Salah, Gakpo and Van Dijk. That's completely fine, but I think triple Liverpool is a given. I think Daniel Munoz, I would consider as labelling a must-have player on a free hit. I think Dan Burn, I like Dan Burn, and I'll tell you why, because Wolves right? You know what? Let me get the stats up real quick. But yeah, Wolves are really bad from set pieces. And we know Big Dan Burn, you know, I'm pretty sure he's like 6'7". He's definitely a threat from set pieces. So he has got potential to score from a set piece against this Wolves team, which is why I actually had Pope in goal before. But after doing a little bit more research, a little bit more digging, and looking at how weak Wolves are from set pieces, I decided that Big Dan Burn could be the play. Clean sheet potential is there, but also the attacking threat from set pieces is there with Dan Burn. And I'll get the stats up now for you guys just to show you that, you know, when you look at the expected goals conceded from set pieces, Wolves are one of the worst defenses from that aspect, right? So yeah, that's why I've gone for Dan Burn. So where is it? Expected set play conceded. Manchester United are actually the worst team from set pieces, then Leeds, and then Wolves. So yeah, that's why I've gone for Dan Burn. And I also think the clean sheet potential is good as well. When you look at the expected goals from a team, you know, you got Wolves lowest here with 2.13 expected goals. So yeah, man, I think it's a good matchup for Dan Burn. Clean sheet potential is there. Attacking threat is there. So yeah, man, can't complain. Oh, wrong screen. Would I do Watkins to Gyökeres? You know what? With Watkins, if I had him right now, I would just keep him. I'm going to be honest. Obviously, I've decided to free hit this week, and he's not in my free hit team, given the fact that they've been so poor. However, in terms of actually transferring him out, I wouldn't do it yet. I just think when you look at the thing is, I know Aston Villa have been shocking, right? But I just think with the fixtures that Villa have coming up, Watkins also being a Premier League proven player, we know he can score. He's done it season in, season out. I think the goals will eventually come. Everton defensively haven't been great so far this season anyway, so this fixture isn't that bad. Then after that is Sunderland, then Fulham, then Burnley. I think you just keep him up to the Burnley game, for me personally. I don't think you need to rush to get Gyökeres in. I think Gyökeres still is a good pick in his own right, yes, but is it worth a transfer? I don't think so. That's just my opinion. That is just my opinion. The thing is, I'm willing to be patient with Watkins, man. Because, as I said, he's a Premier League proven player. I don't think he's going to carry on blanking forever. Like, he will score goals. That is my honest opinion. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Why Barnes over Elanga? I just think Barnes' goal threat is better than Elanga. You know, he's a better finisher. And I actually just think Barnes, well, to be fair, I think he's actually a better player than Elanga. And I just think he has more of an eye for goal. Right, I would say Elanga's probably assist potential is better, but I think Barnes always has an eye for goal. So yeah, that's why I'm going to go for Harvey Barnes instead. Lacroix gets DEFCON and Munoz is not guaranteed to get a return. But the same way you said Munoz is not guaranteed to get a return, I could say Lacroix is not guaranteed to get DEFCON. Ultimately, on a free hit, I'm going to play the attacking upside with Munoz. Obviously, Lacroix is better for DEFCON, but Munoz is better for attacking threat. Right, so yeah. What do I think? Dogu out for Munoz and Wirtz for Gakpo. Dogu out. Yeah, I don't mind that Dogu for Munoz and Wirtz for... I mean, to be fair, I don't think it... I wouldn't take out Wirtz, but if you need to downgrade Wirtz to Gakpo to free up funds to get Munoz, then fair enough. I think it makes sense. But I don't think you need to transfer out Wirtz this week. I think if you got Wirtz, you just keep him. Obviously, if you need the money to get Munoz in, then fair enough. Then, yeah, it makes sense. But if not, then I'd probably just keep Wirtz, to be fair. I'd probably just keep Wirtz. Why no Haaland? You see, like, the thing is, for me, on free hit, Salah I'm definitely going to go with. So it's either I do a draft with Haaland and Salah, or just Salah. And I just don't really like the Haaland and Salah drafts, to be honest with you. Like, going for Haaland probably means no Gyökeres. It probably means no Gabriel. Maybe no Mateta, or maybe no Ekitike. Like, there's just too many places I have to make sacrifices in. So, yeah, for me, I just think, yeah, free hitting without Haaland, for me, just for this week is okay. I don't mind it. Obviously, the fixture against Man United, it's not bad. But I don't think Man City are going to roll us over, to be fair. Like, yeah, they'll probably score a couple of goals, maybe 2 goals, I'd say, max. I don't see us getting battered like 3 or 4-0, for example. But yeah, man, on a free hit, there's just too many sacrifices that have to be made by going for Haaland. Like, if I go for Haaland, probably going to have to take out Gyökeres. I mean, yeah, I just don't... I've built a few teams and I just don't like them. Like, where else do I free up the money from? Maybe Ekitike, probably Gabriel Munoz. Like, there's just so many places where I've got to make sacrifices, man. Let's see if I bring in Ronaldo. And who else? Who else could I pick? Wait, Eva Nilsson, let's just say, for example. Yeah, so I could go to like a 4-point. Let's just say I go to Richards, right? So I could do that. Richards, Anderson, Dan Burn as a back three. And then Semenyo, Salah, Gakpo, Barnes, Mateta, Eva Nilsson, Haaland. I mean, that's actually not a bad free-hit team, to be fair. It's not bad. It's not bad, but I've only got 2 Liverpool players against Burnley away. I don't know, man. I've got no Arsenal defender now. I just don't like it as much, to be honest with you. I don't like it as much. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to avoid Haaland, to be honest with you guys, on a free hit anyway. At least I've got Haaland back in my actual team after I've free hitted. I've removed Watkins on my wildcard after stinking up the place. If he hauls today, I'm done with this game. Listen, I'm not going to lie, man. One thing I'm quite scared about with my free hit this week is the fact that I've actually got no Watkins. As bad as he's been, right, I just feel like, watch him score now. Watch him score now that I've free hitted him out of my team. I know he'll score. But like, the thing is, because he's blanked for like 3 games in a row, it almost just feels like a goal is coming. In a weird way, that's how it feels. Especially with a player like Watkins. As I said, he's Premier League proven. We know he can score goals. It feels like a goal is coming. I wouldn't be surprised if Watkins scores this week, man. I can't lie. Chat, I'll be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if Watkins scores and we get like a Rodgers assist. I wouldn't be surprised. And both of those 2 bums, yeah, are in my actual team. I guarantee you. Another player that I'm actually quite, like, again, scared of not owning is actually Mbeumo. Someone that I've got in my own team. I actually think Brian Mbeumo could be a really nice shout, man. I think Brian Mbeumo against this City defence could be a decent shout. But again, there's not really any room for him on this free hit, to be honest with you. So, yeah. Watkins, Rodgers, Hall today, bro. Facts, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I guarantee you Watkins, Wirtz, and Rodgers all bang today. Like, Wirtz wouldn't hurt me as much because obviously I've never had Wirtz, but Watkins and Rodgers, man, if they do something today, I'm gonna be so pissed. But the thing is, I just know it's gonna happen. I literally know it's gonna happen, and I don't even think Everton defense is that great, to be honest with you. They've conceded a lot of chances so far this season. Man, I can just see it already. I can literally just see it already, man. I'm not looking forward to those 3 o'clock games. I'm not, man. Yo, Ryan, help me, man. I'm on wildcard. I don't know if I should go for Salah and Haaland draft or just Salah because I want Ekitike versus Burnley and I was planning to get Haaland versus Burnley in 6. If you're wildcarding now, I mean, a Haaland and Salah draw for a wildcard isn't necessarily a bad shout. I mean, do you have free transfers, like, saved? Because I think if you have free transfers saved, it would make getting Haaland a lot easier for you. I mean, you can always start with Salah, save 2 free transfers, and then in game week 6, use those 2 free transfers to basically swap Haaland and Salah. Right? Haaland is cheaper than Salah, so you can get to Haaland in 2 moves. So you could start, if you're someone that doesn't mind booking in transfers after a wild card, you could start with Salah, and then move off Salah and go to Haaland with 2 free transfers in game week 6. That's what you could do. Because I would say this week, if you are wildcarding, I guess, for the next 2 games, Haaland you don't necessarily need. But I definitely think from game week 6 onwards, Haaland is a better pick to have than Salah for sure, in my opinion. And and in game weeks 4 and 5, I'd say Salah is a better pick to have than Haaland. So, yeah, I would say start with Salah and then remove Salah and go to Haaland in game week 6. That's probably what I would do. But yeah, I'm literally just I think I'm keeping Haaland for the entire season, chat. I'll be honest. If he stays fit, I had him in my game week 1 team. Obviously, I've not got him in my free hit team, but I'm gonna have him back after. I don't see a point where I'm ever gonna take out Haaland, to be honest with you. I really don't. I think, and with Liverpool, you know what, chat? What's your opinions on this, right? What's your opinions on Salah overall? Obviously, in the next 2 games, Burnley and Everton, he's a great pick, regardless, right? But when Isak becomes a consistent starter in this team, do we think the need for Salah goes down? Like, do we think Salah is as essential as, he used to be with all the sort of quality players that Liverpool have in their team? With players like Isak, with Gakpo potentially being a starting left winger, with Florian Wirtz, if Florian Wirtz becomes a better pick later down the line. Like, I feel like the share of goals will increase in this Liverpool team. And potentially, Salah might... Like, I think if Isak is a consistent starter, I'm always just going to go straight to Isak. I don't think there's a world where Salah, playing in the same team as Isak, is worth an extra 4 million. I really don't. I think value-wise, Isak is a lot better than Mohamed Salah playing in the same team. Obviously, he's not got the penalties, and maybe he's not necessarily a guaranteed 90-minute starter, but I think for 4 million less, I think I'd always rather go for Isak ahead of Salah, to be honest with you. Salah isn't producing? Yeah, 100%. 100%. He's had a slow start to the season. But I think the next 2 games, he will definitely do well, though. I must admit. Like, I'm scared that I don't own Salah for game week 5. Everton at home, or any Liverpool player, in fact, to be honest. But yeah, next 2 games, I expect Salah to probably get some double-digit returns. But just overall, later on down the line, I think the thing is with Haaland, and why I like, and why as well for me he's a better pick, is because when you look at the other City players, it's kind of hard to get that sort of cover for the Man City attack. You know, there's always rotation there, and there's just not the quality of players, you know. Foden's out of form, not a consistent starter. Doku has never really been a good FPL pick, not a consistent starter. Oscar Bob, never been a good FPL pick, can't trust him for minutes. Reinders is good, but he's not on the level of, like, you know, an Isak, for example, or a Gakpo for attacking returns. So I feel like it's harder to sort of cover Haaland if you don't have him than it is to cover Salah if you don't have him, if you get what I mean. Will João Pedro play? Probably yes. I think João Pedro starts but gets reduced minutes, which is why I'm not going for him on my free hit. You know, Chelsea play Champions League against Bayern away from home, chat, on Wednesday. So I think João Pedro comes off 60 minutes for sure. I'll be surprised if João Pedro gets 90 minutes, especially with all the sort of injuries Chelsea have. Cunha out for Wirtz or Enzo and Ekitike. Wait, Cunha out for Wirtz or Enzo and Ekitike for a -4. I would definitely bring in Wirtz ahead of Enzo, honestly. I think with the fixtures that Liverpool have, Burnley away, Everton at home next 2. Yeah, I honestly don't mind Wirtz as a pick. As bad as he's been, you guys already know my thoughts on Wirtz. For the next 2 games, Burnley and Everton, like, these are the kind of games now where I expect Wirtz to shine, right? These are the kind of games where I expect Wirtz to get some attacking returns. So I don't mind him as a pick for the next 2. I don't mind him. On 3 or 4, due to the supposed Newcastle team leak from FPL Raptor, do I prefer Watermode and Virgil / Kukurea, or Ekitike and Joachim Andersen? Already have Salah and Gakpo. Ooh, Voltamode. If Voltamode, again, I'm probably saying his name wrong, so sorry about that. But if Voltamode starts, which apparently he is going to start, I think Voltamode and Virgil could potentially be better. But I just think Ekitike, Isak probably does get subbed on, right, for like 15 minutes. But who's to say Voltamode gets 90 minutes either? Oh, that's so hard. Joachim Andersen, Ekitike. I think I'd go for Ekitike and Andersen. That's very hard though. But I think I'd go for Ekitike and Andersen, you know, to be honest with you. I think I would, yeah. A very, very tough decision, but yeah, I'm backing Ekitike, man. Would I think of a back 5 on a free hit, bro? Not a big fan of it, to be honest with you. I understand the thinking in a way. I'm guessing, you know, if you're playing a back 5, you've probably doubled up on a couple defences. Maybe you've doubled up on Crystal Palace defence with Lacroix, Munoz. Maybe you've doubled up on Arsenal defence with Gabriel and Timber. But I just think, like, on a free hit, would you not sort of want to pick the attacking upside that, you know, the midfielders and forwards have, rather than go to a 5 at the back? It just feels a bit smelly on a free hit, to be honest with you. That's my honest opinion. So, yeah, I'm not personally a big fan. Of course, there are some good sort of fixtures for a clean sheet, 100%, right? You know, you've got the Newcastle defence, which looks good for a clean sheet. You've got the Arsenal defence, which looks good for a clean sheet. The Palace defence. Like, there's a few Liverpool defence as well, if you're not on triple Liverpool attack. There is a lot of sort of teams that, you know, have good clean sheet prospects. But I just think on a free hit, would you not rather gamble on a attacker, right, who's got a much higher ceiling and much higher upside? So that's why, for me personally, I'm not really a big fan of 5. I just think it's a bit too much. I do personally think it's a bit too much. Maybe 4 at the back you could do, but even then, I just do prefer going for like a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3 and maximizing the attacking upside. Hey Ryan, what watchalongs am I doing this week? Yeah, guys. So if you missed it already, the watchalongs I will be doing this week, assuming my team stays the same, which I think it will. Right, I'll be doing Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest, 12:30 kickoff, and then also the 3 p.m. games as well. Right, so I got Semenyo playing for Bournemouth. I've got double Palace against Sunderland. I've got double Newcastle. Yeah, double. I was about to say triple. I got double Newcastle as well. So I'll be doing the 3 p.m. games and Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest for Saturday, and then on Sunday I'll be doing Liverpool versus Burnley. So they're the watchalongs I'm going to be doing this week. I'm not going to bother do Chelsea because I've only got Sanchez. I've got no Spurs players as well. So, yeah, not much point in doing those 2 games, really. But, yeah, so I think that's 3 watchalongs I've got planned for Game Week 4. So, yeah, man. Hopefully, I'll see you guys then. Hopefully, it's going to be a good one. I've actually got a lot of players playing today, in fact. I've got 8 players playing on today, which is Saturday. 2 Arsenal players, 1 Chelsea player, 2 Newcastle, 2 Palace, 1 Bournemouth. So a lot of my team is playing today, man. If I don't have a fat green arrow by the end of today, man, shit has gone south. Shit has gone wrong. If I don't have the biggest green arrow after today, I'm finished. I'm hoping after today, I'm ranked at like 1 million. Because if I'm ranked at like 1 million with captain and triple Liverpool attack still left to play, then it's looking quite decent. But yeah, man, they're the watchalongs I'm going to be doing today, so hopefully it is a good one. Gavardia or Gabriel, I could go for Gavardia to Game Week 8. I would go for Gabriel, to be fair. Gavardia is just coming back from injury, and I don't know if he'll play week in, week out. You say this every week? Say what every week? What do I say every week? Who would I start? Barnes, home to Wolves, or Enzo, away to Brentford? I would definitely start Barnes. Is Ndai available? The latest update we've got on Ndai is that he is a doubt. That's what David Moyes said in his latest press conference. So, yeah, is he going to start? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I've not got insider information. I can only go off what David Moyes said. And David Moyes said that Ndai is a doubt. So, I doubt he starts. But you never know. Maybe he gets a late fitness test and he does start. I don't know. But definitely a risk to go for him. If you've already got him in your team, I would probably leave him, assuming you've got someone that can come on off the bench. I'd probably just leave him in your team. But in terms of transferring him in, I definitely wouldn't. You say you'll get a massive green arrow. No, I said I hope I get a massive green arrow. Actually, no, to be fair, I said if I don't. Well, listen, at the end of the day, if this team doesn't get a green arrow, then like I don't even know what to say at this point, because this is a good team in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but to be honest with you, I would argue that this team is capable of getting 100 points again. And I know I said that last week. But listen, I can only go off how good the team looks on paper, right? And I can't lie, chat. This team looks good on paper. You might disagree. But this team, for me, this team bangs. I don't really understand how you can look at this team and think, nah, this team is dead. This team is good food, man. This team should be getting 100 points. And if I don't get 100 points this week, then it's just typical FPL, man. What can I say? I don't really know what to say, guys. This team should get minimum 100 points. Salah captain, Gakpo, Ekitike against stinky Burnley. Double Newcastle against stinky Wolves. Palace against Sunderland at home. Like, come on, man. I should be getting a big green arrow this week, bro. 100%. Thoughts on getting João Pedro in next week and Wood this week? I feel like this is probably the worst time to buy João Pedro, to be honest with you. I think Chelsea's next few games aren't great. I mean, they're all right, but they're not amazing. I think the Brentford and Brighton games are okay. United away is tough for me, in my opinion. I actually think we beat Chelsea in this game. But Chelsea historically have a pretty bad record at Old Trafford. So I think they'll struggle in this game. And it's also, Champions League week as well. So Chelsea would have played away to Bayern before coming away to Old Trafford. So I really do think Chelsea are going to struggle in this game. Brighton at home is good, but then Liverpool's tough. And then Forest away is decent. I just think there's no rush to get João Pedro. If you don't have him, I probably wouldn't go for him, to be fair. I think someone like Evan-Ilson could be a better pick, actually, in the short term. Because I think Bournemouth have pretty good fixtures, man. They got Brighton at home, Newcastle at home, pretty tough. But then Leeds, Fulham, Palace, Forest. I think, yeah. Like, João Pedro's fine, but I don't think you have to put him in. I played my free hit in my wildcard second and third week. Got angry with my team. I got fancy rage. My team still thinks it's been hard for you. Damn, I can't lie. Already using your wildcard and still being pissed off with your team is not the one, bro. I'm hoping when I use my wildcard, I'm in a very good place in FPL, man. In a very good place. But yeah, I mean, what can you do at this point? You've used your wildcard. I mean, what kind of players do you have in your team? Maybe you've just got unlucky, and maybe you've actually got players that, you know, can give you points in the long term. Enzo or Kudus? Kudus for me. Palmer's coming back from injury as well, which means Enzo probably won't have penalties anytime soon. So, yeah, I'd go Kudus. Have I wildcarded this week? No, I used my free hit, bro. Sanchez or Pope on free hit? If I had to pick one, I'd say Pope, yeah. My wildcard team right now is Raya, Tosin, Richards, Konate, Salah, Semenyo, King, Rice, João Pedro, Big Boy, Jean-Philippe Mateta, Haaland, the 0 in the bank. So it's a Haaland and Salah draft. I mean, it's not bad. I'm a bit like Rice has actually been providing points. I can't lie. So as it stands, you probably say he's a good pick, but I'm still a bit 50-50 on Rice, man. I mean, he got DEFCON against Liverpool, an assist against Leeds, an assist against United, both from set pieces, but you know that is part of the reason why you pick him. I just do wonder at 6.5, is there better options? Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. I mean, you've got Matoma, I guess. What's Brighton's fixtures saying again? Now, Brighton's fixtures are a bit meh. Yeah, not great. Probably wouldn't go Matoma if I'm being honest. Sarr's injured. A lot of people are going Paqueta, but I'm not really a big fan of Paqueta, to be honest with you. I don't think the fixtures for West Ham are amazing. I mean, they're all right, to be fair, but I don't think I'd go for Paqueta, to be honest. You know what? Maybe Rice at 6.5 is one of the better options. If you have enough for like Jack Grealish, though, I'd definitely go for Jack Grealish if you've got enough. I know Grealish is a little bit more. He's 6.8. But if you've got like, actually, no, you said you had 0 in the bank. Damn, so you probably don't have enough for Grealish. Fair enough, man. You know what? This is again why for me, I don't think I'm ever gonna pick a Haaland and Salah draft. I just think you lose out in so many positions, in my opinion. You really do. But yeah, right now Rice might be one of the better 6.5 and under players, to be honest with you. You could go for a punt on Tavernier. I really do like Bournemouth as a team and I like their fixtures. Maybe, obviously, this isn't really the week for Hudson-Odoi, but you could go for Hudson-Odoi in game week 5 and 6, potentially. You know, Ange being the manager, we expect Nottingham Forest to play slightly more attacking football. What do I think about Timber on a free hit? Like him a lot, man. Was even considering going for him myself. That is actually something I was considering, going for double Arsenal defence. So something I could do is avoid Chelsea defence. Unfortunately, I really do want Dan Burn. So, alright, if I was to keep Dan Burn, what I could do is go double Arsenal defence, go Raya and Timber, and avoid Chelsea defence. That's something I'm considering, though. I can't lie, chat. That is something I am considering. I just think, Chelsea going to get a clean sheet? I don't know, man. For some reason, I've got like a sneaky feeling that Brentford score. I really do. I mean, Gabriel and Sanchez or Timber and Raya with double Arsenal defence. I'm not sure. I feel like Timber and Raya is the play. And I have been thinking about it, but I'm not sure, man. I think Haaland and Salah drafts do really well. Fair enough, bro, man. I'm not too sure. I'm just not too sure, man. I'm not too sure. I just think that there's so many like other good picks to go for. that I just think I'm not really the biggest fan of Haaland and Salah. Like, for example, Gyökeres. If you got Haaland and Salah, the chances are you probably can't fit in Gyökeres, right? And I just think Arsenal's fixtures, even from now, from game week 4 onwards, actually look pretty good. Forest at home is fine. Man City at home I actually like because I don't rate the City defence. I think Newcastle away is definitely tough. Probably stinks up the place in this game, to be fair, Gyökeres. But after that, it's then West Ham, Fulham, Palace, Burnley, and then Sunderland. Like, I think Gyökeres, for example, is a really good pick. But the chances of you having Gyökeres is very, very slim if you've got Haaland and Salah, for example. So, yeah, man. Like, I don't know, man. For me, I think it's pick one or the other, personally. But you never know, man. At the end of the day, there is multiple ways to play FPL. There isn't just one way, so it can still work. I'm not saying it can't work, but for me and what I prefer, I probably wouldn't be going for Haaland and Salah if I was wildcarding. Thoughts on Murillo to Munoz? I wouldn't do that, if I'm honest. Wouldn't do it. I don't know what your strategies are, whether you're free hitting in game week 6 or anything like that. I'm not too sure, but assuming that you're not using any chips in game week 6, I would probably just keep Murillo, man. I think, obviously, with Andrew being the manager now, yeah, defensively, they probably become a slightly worse team, fair enough, but ultimately, they've still got Burnley and Sunderland in game week 5 and 6. So, even with Andrew in charge, on paper, they're good fixtures, and on paper, they're decent chances for a clean sheet. So, I just think removing Murillo for Munoz is a bit premature, in my opinion. Obviously, game week 4, Arsenal away is not ideal, but after that, you got Burnley and Sunderland, so yeah, I don't think I would be taking out, like, Forest players in general, I wouldn't be taking them out, I don't think. I wouldn't be taking them out. Even Ilson or Mateta. That's a tough one, I'm not gonna lie, that is a tough one. Sarah's expected back for the Liverpool game, apparently. Wharton is expected back for West Ham. But Palace are playing Europe. They could experience some fatigue. Bournemouth 1 game a week. I'm going to say even Ilson. Yeah, I'm going to say even Ilson. I actually do like the fixtures that Bournemouth do have long term. And they're playing 1 game a week as well. Iriola's a fantastic coach. Palace have got Europe. Couple of injuries. Yeah, I think I'd say even Ilson, I think I'd actually say even Ilson. Both, of course, are solid picks, but I think even Ilson's quite underrated right now, man. I actually do think he's quite underrated. Obviously, Semenyo's getting a lot of love, as he should, because he's been really, really good. But I do think even Ilson's a very good shout, man. He's only scored 1 goal, but realistically, I think he should have 2 goals. If you guys watched the game against Wolves, he was through literally 1-on-1 with the keeper and got taken down. Obviously, Wolves got sent down to 10 men, but if he didn't get fouled, he probably puts away that chance and scores. And he's on 2 goals in 3 games, which isn't bad at all. But yeah, I think even Ilson is a good shout, man. So yeah, I would go even Ilson, man. I think he's being quite underrated, to be fair. I like him. Is Pino a good pick on free hit? Yes, I would say so. I think he's fit to play. So I would say he's a nice differential to own. Obviously, I've not really seen much of him in the league. No one has, but he looked okay when coming on against Aston Villa. He looked quite bright. So yeah, I think a punt on Pino isn't too bad on a free hit, to be fair. But for me, there's a lot of other options I prefer, like Barnes, Semenyo. I do prefer these players if you don't have them. Even Elanga. I think I'd pick Elanga over Pino, to be fair. But yeah, nonetheless, he still was a decent shout in my opinion. Would I take a -4 for Munoz in for Diouf? My defense is currently Richards, Porro, and Diouf and Murillo. No, I wouldn't take a -4 for Munoz. I mean, Munoz is a good long-term pick, but I would just taking a -4 for a defender in a single game week is definitely not ideal. I mean, my chat's always telling me that. There's been times that I've considered taking a -4 for a defender, but ultimately, in a single game week especially, it's not really worth it, man. It's not worth it. I would just leave it. And remember, defensive contributions are a thing as well. So even though, it's not the best fixture on paper, there's still a chance, that, Murillo, for example, he could get 4 points. It could only be 1 or 2-0 let's just say 1-0 to Arsenal. I do think they score more, but at the end of the day, you never know, right? It could be 1-0 and Murillo gets defensive contributions and ends the game on 4 points. That's not bad at all. right? Of course, it's unlikely that, Forest only lose 1-0, but ultimately, I think Murillo can rack up some defensive contributions and get those extra 2 points. So I don't really think taking him out for a -4 is ideal. Barnes has a child, won't play. Yep, I do know that, but I still think he does play. I still think he does play, honestly. I really do. Can you please build a wildcard team you would go for in future transfers? I did post a video on that, bro, on my channel. So I'd probably say just watch that because I've got a lot of questions coming in. I don't know if I've got enough time to look at a wildcard team and future transfers. So I would probably just say, yeah, go on one of my recent videos because I posted 2 wildcard drafts, one with both Haaland and Salah and one with just Haaland. So maybe you want to check that out. But on wildcard, to be fair, like my team would actually look similar. I mean, I'll quickly go for it. I won't look at future transfers, but in terms of wildcard, it would be pretty similar. I wouldn't have Ekitike. I maybe wouldn't have Mateta. I would have, well, me personally, I would have Haaland. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think. I mean, actually, if I was wildcarding, would I have Haaland? Maybe I'd start. I'm actually not sure. Actually, to be honest with you, I'm not sure. Actually, no, I feel like. I mean, if I had Haaland, I'd probably have Wirtz. I'd end up having Wirtz and Gakpo, which I don't know. I don't know if I would want to do that, but unless I want to book in transfers. If I want to book in transfers, then I would pick Salah, and then roll 2 free transfers and go to Haaland. That's probably what I would do. I'm not too sure, but yeah, my team would look something like this. I'd still have Gyökeres, I'd still have Gabriel. I'd probably have Sanchez, possibly Munoz. I wouldn't have Barnes. I'd have Gakpo, Salah, Semenyo, maybe even Ilson. So it would look similar. But yeah, I would say right now I'm not going to build a wildcard team just because I got a lot of questions coming in. My team has Bowen, Sarr, and then Die. Should have free hit this week. Bowen will play, so that's fine. Sarr, and then Die. How many free transfers do you have, bro? I think it depends on how many free transfers you have. Let me know how many free transfers you have, and then I can answer that better. By the way, big up. Sorry, I got completely lost in the comments and forgot to say. Oh, where's it gone? Oh, there we go. Big up, Rotimi. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, bro. But big up Rotimi for the super chat, man. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate it. Is Palmer gonna play it? I mean, he might get some minutes, but I'm not too sure. I honestly don't know, bro. I don't know. He trained this week with Chelsea, but that's the only bit of information I can really give you. In terms of whether he'll play or not, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would say if you have Palmer, if I had Palmer right now, I'd get rid. When you look at the fact that he's a potential doubt for this week and the upcoming fixtures for Chelsea, for me, I would say he's a relatively easy sell. Because even if you don't have Palmer, and he does play for the next sort of 4 or 5 games, the fixtures aren't, again, amazing fixtures for Chelsea. So going without Palmer for the next 4 or 5 games isn't bad at all, in my opinion. So if I had Palmer, I would probably sell. I'm stuck between João Pedro or triple up Liverpool attack. I go triple Liverpool attack, man. Let's just have some fun, chat, bro. Let's have some fun. Triple Liverpool attack, man. Salah, Gakpo, Ekitike, we will be there. We'll be there. Sunday, 2 p.m. kickoff, we will be there, man. Like, if Liverpool win like 5-0, for example, there's a good chance if you've gone for triple Liverpool attack, at least 2 of your 3 players are walking away with double-digit returns, bro. So, yeah. Would I bench Saliba? I'd bench... Ooh, Saliba was injured, though. But I think with Saliba, he either plays or doesn't play. I would bench Wood. Hey, man, hope you're good. Hey, big up Married to the Game. Play Bruno and Anderson. Is that... Yeah, that's Elliot Anderson. Or transfer Sarr out. Got 7.3 to spend if Sarr leaves. Annoying because I like Semenyo. Ooh, so you couldn't go to Semenyo. Ooh, that is tough. I mean... Playing Bruno against City is not bad at all. I think Bruno plays in the 10 role as well because of our injuries. Cunha's not going to play. I'd say Mbeumo in the 10, Sesko up front, and Bruno in the 10. So at least for that game, he's in a more attacking role. And Man City defense isn't great. So I think playing Bruno is fine. Anderson probably has a good chance for defensive contributions in this game against Arsenal, to be fair. So he could actually walk away from this game with 4 points, which isn't bad. Because you can't, if you could have got Semenyo, I would have definitely said, yep, use a transfer, bring in Semenyo, easy. But because you can't get Semenyo, I'm thinking, who else can you really go to? Jack Grealish? I mean, Grealish is good, so you could go to Grealish. But I actually think I just save the transfer and play Anderson, to be fair. I mean, Grealish is still good. You know, Villa at home, Liverpool away is tough, but then West Ham at home, Palace at home, City away, Tottenham. I mean, you could go Jack Grealish, to be fair. You could go Jack Grealish. Man, his ownership has gone up high so quick. 21% ownership. That's mad. Should I get rid of Saliba? I'd say no. If you got Saliba, I'd probably keep him. Even if he does miss this game, he'll be back for the next game. I think at this point, yeah, as long as you've got, I mean, you've probably got decent defenders on the bench. You know, even if it's a 4 million defender that comes on to replace Saliba, I think at this point I just keep him. I mean, how long? Because I saw that Saliba, I swear he trained. I'm pretty sure he did train. Again, he probably doesn't play this game, right? If I was to say percentage-wise, what is his chances of playing this game? Probably about 30%, right? I'd say he plays this game, especially with Champions League. But I think he'll be back for at least City. I think he'll be back for a City. I mean, you could just get rid of him and buy him back in 7, but it all depends, really. I'd say, who have you got on your bench, you know? If you've got a good enough replacement on the bench, then I would say just keep Saliba. It kind of just depends, really. It kind of just depends. Xavi or Kudus? I actually think Xavi Simons will be a consistent starter for Spurs. So I think I would actually say Xavi Simons. Because I do think they've bought him to be a consistent starter. So if both Xavi Simons and Kudus are consistent starters, I think I prefer Simons. Obviously, we've not seen him play in the Premier League. We don't know if he's going to be good. He might struggle. You never know. We've seen Wirtz come from the Bundesliga. We've seen him struggle. But I would say right now, because Kudus' goal threat just seems really, really low, I would say taking a chance on Xavi Simons isn't a bad shout, because I do expect him to play week in, week out. Big up everyone in the stream, by the way, man. Appreciate all the likes. The target is 100 likes. So if you haven't smashed the like already, make sure you guys do smash a like and also subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't, man. Road to 5k subscribers. And if you aren't aware as well, we'll be doing a watch along for the Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest game and a watch along for the 3 p.m. kickoffs today. So hopefully you guys are there for that, man. It should be a very, very good stream. Should be a very, very good stream, man. But yeah, man, big up everyone inside. Big up everyone in the chat, man. Can't hear you. Guys, is my mic messed up? Can you guys hear me? I'm on mute. Are you trolling, or am I actually on mute? Only one person is saying it, so I don't know if that's true. Wait, hold on. No, I don't think I am. I don't think I'm on mute, bro. Maybe your phone's on mute. Maybe your phone's on mute. He's trolling? Yeah, I gathered. Watkins or Wood? Ooh. I mean, what is this for? Like, who do you have? Are you transferring them in? Like, what's the scenario? What's the context of the situation? Watkins or Wood? I don't know, because if you've got Watkins and you're saying, should I transfer out Watkins for Wood? I'd say no. If you've got Wood and you're saying, should I transfer out Wood for Watkins? I'd also say no. I actually don't like. I think Watkins and Wood, for me personally, I still think if you have them, you keep them until their fixtures turn. Personally. Oh, I mean to start. Oh, easy, man. Watkins for sure. For sure. Watkins against Everton, I'd much rather start over Wood against Arsenal. So, yeah. I can hear you now. It was my end, bro. My bad. Hey, no problem, David, man. No problem, bro. Which to start this week? Xavi, Kudus, Paqueta. I go Xavi Simons. Yeah, I go Xavi Simons. FPL Scout says Wood gets benched for Jesus. To be fair, it's not a bad prediction because of the international break. Wood playing like all the way on the other side of the country. I mean, I'm pretty sure this time last year, after the first international break, Wood actually got benched in the game that came after the international break. So, yeah, there is a good chance that Wood actually does get benched this week. But I would say even if he does get benched this week, he will come back into the team for game week 5 and 6. I would like to think so. Unless Ange actually doesn't like Wood at all. But I'll be surprised. Mateta or Gakpo cap? Gakpo for me. Yeah, Gakpo. Is Eze a good starter? I actually don't mind Eze. I considered Eze at one point in this free hit team. I don't mind him at all. I do expect him to start this week. So, again, if you want to take a punt on Eze, I don't mind him. Best 4.5 defender. Well, I was going to say Senesi, but he's 4.6. So if you've got enough for Senesi, I'd say Senesi's up there. I think Anderson is up there. He's good for defensive contributions. I still think Chris Richards is decent because I like the Palace defence. They're probably my favourite three at the moment, to be fair. Senesi, Gahey or Chris Richards, Anderson of Fulham. Who else is there? Diouf, no, wouldn't say Dorgu. Tosin as well. Tosin. I like Tosin at 4.5. I'm actually really happy I started the season off with Tosin. Because now that Chelsea haven't bought a defender, he's just really good for starts. And to get a Chelsea defender that's good for defensive contributions and starts every game is just fantastic. So I think long-term Tosin is a shout. Whether I would bring him in now, probably not. To be fair, again, Chelsea fixtures aren't ideal. So, yeah, I would much rather probably go for Senesi instead right now. But I think later on down the line, Tosin at 4.5 could be a shout. Is Madueke good on free hit? I wouldn't say so. No, I wouldn't go for Madueke. João Pedro or Gyökeres? I'd actually go Gyökeres, man. That was a debate I was having with myself, to be honest. But I think now I've come to the conclusion that I prefer Gyökeres. Gyökeres on pens, guaranteed to get 90 minutes, a fixture at home. Can't really go wrong with it, man. I think João Pedro probably gets reduced minutes this week. With Chelsea playing Champions League and with João Pedro coming back late from international break, I just prefer Gyökeres. Why not Madueke? I just think there's a lot of better picks you can get, really. You know, like Madueke is not someone that, you know, gets a lot of goals or assists, to be fair. So I just don't really like him as a pick. I don't mind watching him on the eye. I like him. He's very persistent. Likes to take on his man 1v1 a lot. Probably got a decent chance of getting an assist, to be fair, given the way he likes to play. But I think there's a lot of better options, to be fair, to go for. By the way, speaking of Champions League chat, let me know if you're playing Champions League Fantasy in the comments, right? Let me know if you're playing Champions League Fantasy Football in the comments, because I do have a mini league and I will be playing Champions League Fantasy. I won't be making videos on it or anything, but I am playing it nonetheless. So I do have a mini league, and if you haven't seen it already, I'll give you guys my password to join, or the code to join the mini league. I mean, maybe if I get some free time, I might do some Champions League watch-alongs. But right now I'm a bit busy, so probably no Champions League watch-alongs at the moment. But yeah, if I ever get some extra time, then yeah, I'm more than happy to do some. But yeah, quickly, I'll just put my Champions League FPL league on screen, just so you can see it. If you do play Champions League Fantasy, yeah, just join up the league, man. Join up the league, because the Champions League season does start on Tuesday. So yeah, that's the code on screen. And join if you are playing Champions League Fantasy. But anyway, back to normal FPL chat. Is it worth it to do Ronaldo to Munoz, or save Munoz/Lacroix, or save money and get Richards/Gahey? I mean, it all depends on what you've got planned in the future, really. You know, if you bring in Munoz and there's a move that you wanted to make further down the line, and by bringing in Munoz, it stops you from making that future transfer you had planned, then I'd just say get in Richards or Gahey for cheap. But if bringing in Munoz doesn't affect your future plans, then 100% just bring in Munoz. That's my opinion. Livramento or Burns? I prefer Dan Burn, bro. I prefer Dan Burn. Do I think Salah should be a lock on free hit? Yeah, pretty much, bro. Pretty much, yeah. Hey, big up Clutch for the super chat, bro. Very much appreciate it, man. Thank you, man. Haaland and King or Gyökeres and Madueke. I don't like Madueke at all, so I would say Haaland and King. But honestly, I think, how much is Madueke, by the way? Let me just double check. If Madueke is 7 mil, oh yeah, I'd rather go for Elanga. I'd rather go for Elanga. For the price that Madueke costs, I'd much rather go for Elanga on free hit. 100%. I would say Gyökeres and Elanga over Haaland and King, personally. Gyökeres and Elanga over Erling Haaland and King. If you said that as an option, I'd pick that. But with the option that you gave, I'd go Haaland and King over Gyökeres and Madueke. I just don't like Madueke as a pick, to be honest with you. And I could be wrong. He probably scores now. I've seen a few people mention him. I've told them not to go and get Madueke. So knowing my luck, he'll go and score. But I just think Madueke has never really been that sort of player that gets a lot of goals and assists, man. Yeah, there's a lot of other options I prefer. I'm on Wildcard. I already have Senesi, Lacroix, Van Dijk, Goodmanson, and have 4.6 for one more defender. Gehi, Van de Ven, or any... Ooh, so you've got Senesi, you've got Lacroix, you've got Van Dijk. That's a really good defence. I like it a lot. I would probably say Anderson of Fulham. So ideally, Van Dijk is your set and forget pick. So you need sort of a rotation with a Bournemouth defender, a Palace defender, and someone else. So if I was to quickly have a look, right, if we go to FPL rotation planner, real quick, I'm gonna share my screen in a second. This is like a good tool to try and sort of help you with figuring out what players to use for defensive rotations. But let's say Van Dijk is your sort of starting set and forget defender. You then obviously need 2 players to start. No, 3 players but 2 to start. 3 players but 2 to start. So let's just say for the next, I don't know, 6 or 7 game weeks, right? And then you've got, you said Crystal Palace, Lacroix, and then Senesi. So if we generate that, it should give us a decent rotation. There's quite a few to pick from. There is quite a few to pick from. So they've actually given Nottingham Forest. So Nottingham Forest seem to rotate quite well with Bournemouth and Crystal Palace defenders. So you could go for like but obviously with Ange in charge, how good a Nottingham Forest defence, we don't know. But you could go for someone like, at 4.6 though, you can't really go for a Nottingham Forest defender at 4.6. You know what? I would actually go for Tosin. If you got 4.6, I would definitely go for Van de Ven or Tosin. I think Tottenham have a decent rotation with Palace and Bournemouth, but also Tosin is a good for defensive contributions, and again has a decent rotation with Palace and Bournemouth. So I would say Tosin or Van de Ven, bro. Tosin or Van de Ven as my 2 defenders. As my defender to rotate with Senesi and Lacroix. I think I'd favour Tosin over Van de Ven purely for defensive contributions. I think Van de Ven's got the fixtures. But Tosin right now has actually had a good start to the season for defensive contribution, so I'd probably say Tosin. Johnson or Semenyo? Semenyo for sure. Right, we got 15 minutes until we're locked in. 15 minutes till we are locked in, chat. Do I think I should start King, Fulham, or Anderson of Forest? I would go for King, bro. I would go for King. Pesci says, Captain Palmer gave me 1 blanked. Captain Haaland gave me 2 blanked. Captain Wood gave me 3 blanked. If Haaland has gave me 4, then I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. Damn, that's rough. That is rough, man. Pesci, do you not have a Liverpool player to captain instead of Haaland, or no? Bench 1, Dewsbury Hall, Rangers, Watkins. I wouldn't bench Watkins, that's for sure. Dewsbury Hall against Aston Villa. Rangers against United. I think I'd go Dewsbury Hall. I mean, no, I'd start Dewsbury Hall. I think I'd bench who was the other player? Rangers. Yeah, I think I'd bench Rangers. Yeah. Van Dijk or Barnes? I'd say Harvey Barnes for sure. Porro or Livramento? I'd say Livramento. Or this week specifically, Livramento, yeah. Livramento. Wow, finally Salah captain Ryan. Yep, that's right. On my free hit, I've got a captain Salah, man. I've got a captain Salah on my free hit for sure. For sure, man. Right. Right, let me just check Twitter just in case we've got any team news. Oh wow, guys, Ryan Nuri will be out for around 5 weeks with an ankle injury. I've literally just seen that. So that's a lot. That's a massive loss for City. I'd say if Gvardiol's back from injury, then his chances of being rotated are quite low. Damn. Right, not seen any team news to be fair. Yeah, I'm not seeing any leaked team news. I think we're all good, man. Wait, hold on. Apparently the Newcastle 11. By the way, guys, have you seen the leaked lineups for the Newcastle game apparently? Do you guys want me to share them if you haven't seen them already? Do you want me to share the lineup that's been going around for the Newcastle Wolves game? Who shall I buy? Kind of hard to answer that without knowing your team, bro. Is Madueke good? Where's all this Madueke talk coming from? I'm actually so confused. Where is this? Why is everyone all of a sudden asking about Madueke? I'm confused. What have I missed? What have I missed, guys? I'm genuinely so confused. A lot of people now are talking about Madueke. Why? What's going on? Does the AI sort of predict him to score, to get good points? So I don't know where this is coming from, but for me personally, I don't think Madueke is a great pick, to be honest with you. Obviously on free hit, I wouldn't go for him. I definitely wouldn't go for him, like, as in if you weren't using a free hit this week. If you just want Madueke in your team, yeah, I would strongly advise against doing that. But yeah, I'm very confused. Is Elanga benched? No. So apparently Elanga... No, apparently... Wait, whoa. Yeah, apparently Elanga is benched in this lineup. But I've seen two. I saw FPL Raptor give one. And the one that FPL Raptor gave, Elanga was starting. I've now seen another one. And Elanga's benched. Oh, shit. I'm confused. The thing is, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Elanga gets benched because remember, Newcastle played Champions League against Barcelona. And FPL Raptor said it was wrong. Oh, I didn't see that tweet. Oh, shit. Yeah, you know what? It does kind of make sense with Elanga, though. Because I think, obviously, Newcastle play against Barcelona in Champions League on Thursday. And when you look at the way Barcelona play, a player like Elanga, you want in your team against that Barcelona high line, right? Constantly making those runs in behind with the pace that Elanga has. Elanga will start against Barcelona. That's how I actually got him I've got him in my Champions League fantasy for that reason. I think because of that, and because of Newcastle playing against Wolves, who are looking pretty awful right now, it does kind of make sense. It does kind of make sense for Elanga to be benched. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. But at the same time, yeah, I don't think Harvey Barnes plays in the Champions League because remember Gordon probably plays on the left, Elanga plays on the right, and then Walter plays up front. That's probably how Newcastle play in the Champions League against Barcelona. So Barnes is probably good for a start, man. Harvey Barnes is probably good for a start. Man. Yo, I'm on free hit. I have triple up of Wirtz, Gakpo, Ekitike. I was going to go no Salah, but I want to now for captaincy. Should I remove Gakpo or Wirtz? I'd remove Wirtz for sure. If I had to pick between Gakpo and Wirtz, I would remove Wirtz. Did Defcon do something? I see someone on my middle going 5 premium defenders. Yeah, there is a lot of sort of, Defcon hype at the moment. A lot of people are suggesting that, you know, a 5 at the back could be the new meta or whatever. But I don't know, man. I don't think I'll ever willingly play 5 at the back, to be fair. I don't think I'd ever do that. But apparently that is sort of the new meta, apparently. So, yeah. I don't know about that, man. Thoughts on double Newcastle defense on free hit? Feels like a good... Yeah, I like it a lot. I like it a lot, man. I'm still considering whether I should go for double Newcastle or double Arsenal instead of Sanchez. Like, I'm really not sure about Sanchez in goal, but there's 8 minutes till the deadline. Do I really want to change now? I don't know, man. But I feel like... Nah, I'm not. Nah, you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna do it, man. I'm not gonna go double in any defense. But I feel like Chelsea might concede, man. Hey, big up Ruff here. Sorry if I butchered your name, bro. But big up for the super chat. They said Kudus or Dewsbury Hall / Rangers. Is this just to start specifically for this week? If it's to start specifically for this week. Ooh, it's definitely between Kudus and Dewsbury Hall. West Ham. I think I go Dewsbury Hall, man. Just about, but it's tough, man. Decisions like those are really, really tough. Really tough, man, honestly. But I think I'd go Dewsbury Hall. Everton attack is looking pretty decent. Oh, man. I'm actually, with all these elite lineups coming out for Newcastle, I'm quite scared now. I think I need to prepare for a Harvey Barnes possible benching. Yeah, I've just seen that. I've just seen the FPL Raptor tweet saying that he got it wrong. I think what I need to do first is look at my bench. Sorry, one sec, chat. I need to pay attention to my bench right now. King or Anderson? How many minutes does King usually get? 66, 70, 76. So he's definitely getting subbed. You know what? Nah, I'm keeping Anderson first, man. Do I have any money in the bank? 0.3 million. I'm just scared. Like, if Harvey Barnes doesn't come on, then I'm getting Anderson. Do I really want that? Anderson or King? I don't know, man. I mean, King is a decent player, but I've not seen enough for him to properly convince me, man. I don't know. Shit. Now. Barnes had a bit... Yeah, guys, I know Barnes had a kid, but I still think he's going to start, man. I still think he's going to start. The thing is, though, there's been 2 elite lineups that I've said that Barnes will start, bro. I'm not taking him out now because the thing is, listen, I can't lie, I'm finished either way because we've got 2 elite lineups and the latest one that came out said that Alanga is benched. So I'm not switching Barnes for Alanga. So if I don't go for Harvey Barnes, who am I going for? Grealish? I mean, I could just go for a Grealish, but... I mean, I could go for a Grealish, to be fair. But no, Barnes is gonna start, score, and do the baby celebration. That's what's gonna happen, bro. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it, man. I'm gonna leave it. I'm not changing it now, man. I'm not changing it now. It's done. Go by the way, you bum. Barnes is benched. Barnes ain't benched, man. There's no way on God's green earth I'm picking Madueke. Miss me with that. Allow it. I ain't picking. I am not picking fucking Madueke, man. Allow it, man. No way. I'm sticking with Barnes, man. I'm sticking with Barnes. My guy Barnes. Harvey Barnes is gonna score, yeah, and he's gonna put the ball under his shirt and he's gonna do this. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. I'm telling you right now, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Ryan, one final question. Do I like Semenyo or Semenyo for sure? Semenyo over Barnes for me. 3 minutes. Three minutes till we're locked in. Mark says owning Barnes has been a pain. How long have you owned him for? Damn. If I suffer, we suffer together, Ryan. Don't sell. Yeah, hey, big up Lintz, man. Big up Lintz. Hopefully I pronounced that right. But yeah, big up, man. We're sticking with Barnes, man. How about Alanga? I heard that Alanga is getting benched, bro. So I can't even go to Alanga anymore as like a safe option. Wait, I just realised apparently that Voldemort the guy's starting. What if he starts and wait? Ooh, wait, hold on. Voldemort, if he starts, yeah, 7 million. And then I go to wait, hang on. How much is Mbeumo? Sorry, I'm just thinking of. Nah, there's no way I can do that, man. Nah, there's no way. Nah, I'm sticking with my team. I'm sticking with my team. I mean, Baltimore, they could be a decent pick, though. Low key, chat. Nah, I'm not changing, man. I'm sticking. What am I doing? This is what happens when you got too much time to think. You start doing dumb shit. I'm changing. I'm sticking with my team, man. I'm sticking with my team. I'm sticking with my team. How do I know Alanga is bench? I saw a leaked lineup on Twitter that said apparently Alanga ain't starting. Who else was it? I've lost the tweet now. I think it said that Lewis Hall isn't starting. Alanga isn't starting. I can't remember who else. Hold on, let me get the tweet back up. So yeah, apparently the starting 11 for Newcastle's Pope, Trippier, Shaw, Burn, Livramento, Tonali, Bruno, Drillington, Murphy, Voltemode, and Barnes. Apparently. Yeah, apparently. So, yeah, guys, listen, we have one minute. Let me just make sure my team is locked. Holy. Captain, vice captain, sub order. You know what? I'm changing. Fuck it. King, you're starting, mate. King's first, I'm changing. You know what? Let me just back the attacker. It might go wrong, but oh well. Unk's making transfers 30 seconds before deadline. I don't know why, man. Didn't the leak come out before Barnes had the kid? Yeah, it did. There was two teams. There was another leak that came through this morning, and there was one leak that came through last night. But yeah, we're done now. We're done. It is what it is. Barnes, please start and just do the baby celebration. I beg. Hopefully we see this today, chat. Hopefully we see that today. Hopefully. Please. We're locked in. We're locked in, man. We're locked in. If this team flops, then honestly, I've got no hope in FPL, man. I've got no hope in FPL if this team flops. That's all I'm saying. Oh, boy. Messed up. Should have went for Walter and Madueke. You know what? I would have gone for Walter if I'd seen enough of him. It's his first game in the league. It just feels a bit risky. But maybe I should have went for him, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, chat. I don't know. But listen, guys. Let me just quickly, before I end the stream, I'm going to confirm the watch-alongs I'll be doing. But yeah, I can't stay on really for any longer because I've got to prepare some graphics as well for the watch-along. So, yeah. But I'll be back for the Arsenal vs Nottingham Forest game. I'll be doing a watch-along for that game. And then also, I'll be doing a watch-along for the 3 p.m. kickoffs. So, back-to-back watch-alongs, Arsenal vs Forest, and then the 3 p.m. games. They're the two watch-alongs I'm doing today. And then tomorrow, I'm doing Liverpool vs Burnley, guys. Yeah, Liverpool vs Burnley tomorrow. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing today. So yeah, guys, I'll be back for Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest watch along. We will be there, guys. We will be there. More than you can believe. We've got Gyökeres, we've got Gabriel. Hopefully, yeah, get points, man. Hopefully I get points. I feel like I should have gone for double Arsenal defense or double Newcastle defense, to be honest with you. I'm a bit nervous, but yeah. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens, man. But yeah, man, big up everyone in the chat. Big up everyone inside. Make sure you do smash a like on the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe as well. And yeah, guys, I'll catch you guys in like an hour or so. So yeah, I'll be back, man. I'll be back. But until then, I'm out, guys. Peace.